I found out on a random Tuesday night. My brother called, his voice unusually hesitant. "Man, you need to see this. I'm sending a link." When I opened it, my entire world collapsed. There was my wife Melissa, speaking directly to her phone in our bedroom while I slept in the background. Day 312 with the human lawnmower. She whispered theatrically, "This is what being trapped with a loser sounds like." She pinned to me snoring, even tried herself out as a voice actor. Then back to her face, rolling her eyes. The comments below were brutal. "Girl, why do you stay? Divorce him already." My wife of 8 years had been documenting our marriage for strangers, twisting every interaction into content. Little did she know, I was about to rewrite the script entirely. The blue light from my phone illuminated my face in the darkness of our living room. It was 3 in the morning, and I had spent the last 4 hours scrolling through my wife's secret TikTok account, trapped with a loser with over 200,000 followers. Each video was like a knife twisting deeper into my chest. I found videos dating back 18 months. 18 months of my life, my habits, my personality dissected and mocked for entertainment. There I was making breakfast, captioned, "He thinks scrambled eggs are cooking, lol." There I was working from home, with her narration. Another day, watching him do the bare minimum at his mediocre job while I carry this household. A video of me falling asleep during a movie, thrilling Friday night with Mr. Excitement. Our wedding photo appeared in one video with her voice over. The day I settled. If I knew then what I know now. The comment section was filled with women encouraging her to leave, offering divorce attorney recommendations, calling me everything from pathetic to toxic. I felt physically ill. 8 years together, for years of marriage. We had talked about having children soon. We had just spent Thanksgiving with both our families, smiling in photos, her hand in mine. Was it all a performance? The most painful videos were the ones filmed while I slept. My snoring, which I had always been self-conscious about, became her most popular content. The nightly symphony, she called it. In one video, she held up handwritten signs behind my sleeping form, listing my failures. No ambition, boring in bed, still plays video games at 35, cannot fold laundry correctly. I watched her account grow over time. Early videos had a few hundred views, but as she leaned into the trapped wife persona, her following exploded. She had merchandise now, mugs and t-shirts with Trapped Wife Club printed on them. In her bio, she called herself a reluctant wife chronicling life with a man-child. The comments were their own special kind of torture. "Girl, you deserve so much better. This is why I'm never getting married. Does he have any redeeming qualities? I would literally rather be alone forever than sleep next to that." What hurt most was knowing that while I had spent the past year and a half working 60-hour weeks to save for the house she wanted in a better neighborhood, she was building a brand around hating me. While I was researching fertility options because we had been struggling to conceive, she was telling strangers I was not father material. While I was planning our anniversary trip to Maine, her dream destination, she was polling her followers on whether she should finally pull the plug on our marriage. I thought about our daily life, how normal it had seemed. We cooked dinner together, watched shows, visited friends. She kissed me goodbye each morning. Was she mentally drafting TikTok captions during those moments? Was every private conversation potential content? There were videos of me trying to talk about my father's cancer diagnosis, caption trauma dumping on me again. A clip of me bringing her flowers after promotion at work, bare minimum effort to compensate for emotional unavailability. The narrative she created bore so little resemblance to our actual relationship that I wondered if we were living in completely different realities. I kept thinking about one video in particular. I had come home early to surprise her on her birthday with concert tickets to her favorite band. I had spent months arranging it, coordinating with her boss to ensure she could take the day off. In her TikTok version, she filmed herself after I left for work the next day. "He finally remembered my birthday this year. But of course it had to be about a band he likes too. Everything is transcational with him." The band was one she had talked about constantly when we first met. I did not even particularly enjoy their music. That night, sitting alone in the dark, I felt something inside me break. Not just my heart, my perception of our entire relationship. Had I been a fool for 8 years? Had I imagined the love between us? Was I really the pathetic, snoring loser she portrayed to the world? I thought about confronting her immediately, waking her, demanding an explanation. I imagined the argument, her airs, her excuses. I pictured her deleting the account in front of me, apologizing profusely, swearing she did not mean any of it. But would that erase the 18 months of public humiliation? Would that change the fact that she had built a community around mocking me? The sun was rising when I finally closed my phone. She would be waking up soon, kissing me good morning, asking about my day, all while planning her next viral video at my expense. I felt hollow-gutted. The woman sleeping peacefully in our bedroom was a stranger to me now. The next morning, I went through the motions of our routine with a strange detachment. Melissa kissed me goodbye, told me she loved me, reminded me about dinner with her sister that weekend. I nodded, smiled, played my part. Inside, I was screaming. At work, I could not focus. My colleague, James, noticed something was wrong and invited me for coffee. In the 8 years I had been with Melissa, James had become my closest friend. We had been groomsmen in each other's weddings. His marriage had ended 2 years ago when he discovered his wife was having an affair. "You look like hell," he said bluntly. I hesitated, then showed him Melissa's TikTok account. His expression shifted from confusion to shock to anger as he scrolled through the videos. Jesus, man, this is abuse. She's publicly humiliating you for clicks. 200,000 people, James. 200,000 people watching her mock our marriage. He handed my phone back, his jaw tight. What are you going to do? That was the question, wasn't it? What could I do? Divorce seemed inevitable, but the thought of ending our marriage over social media felt surreal. And a confrontation would just lead to denial, tears, promises to delete everything, but the damage was already done. I don't know, I admitted. You could report the account, James suggested. It's got to violate some terms of service, filming you without consent. I had considered that, but it felt inadequate. Even if the account disappeared, the humiliation would remain. Melissa would still be the same person who had done this, who had betrayed my trust so completely. She posts new videos almost every day, I said. Yesterday, while I was working late, she posted one about how I'm probably having an affair because no one works until 9 at night. The irony was crushing. I had been staying late to finish a project that would qualify me for a bonus we needed for our house down payment. You need to document everything, James advised. Save the videos, the comments, everything. Just in case. In case of what? In case she tries to twist this when you confront her. In case of divorce. The word hung between us. Divorce. The end of everything we had built. The admission that the person I had trusted most in the world had been living a double life. That evening, Melissa was especially affectionate, suggesting we order from my favorite restaurant, cuddling close on the couch. I wondered if she was filming secretly, if this normal moment would become content keeping the peace with the man-child. I excused myself early, claiming a headache, unable to bear her touch. In the bathroom, I scrolled through her account again. A new video, posted during her lunch break, when your husband thinks you don't notice him checking out the waitress. It had 150,000 views already. I had not even looked at our waitress during our anniversary dinner last week. I had been too busy making sure everything was perfect for her. The comments were vicious. Men are trash. This is why I trust no man. Girl, he's definitely cheating. They all do. My eyes burned with unshed tears. I thought of the mortgage pre-approval we had just received, the fertility specialist appointment scheduled for next month, the Christmas gifts I had already hidden in the garage, the future I had planned with a woman who apparently despised me. That night, as Melissa slept soundly beside me, I stared at the ceiling, listening to my own breathing, wondering if she was noting its rhythm for tomorrow's content. The rage in her inside me had crystallized into something else, resolve. I slipped out of bed and went to the guest room, opening my laptop. I created a new TikTok account, living with a TikTok wife. I recorded my first video, speaking softly into the camera. Hi. I'm not sure how to start this. Today I discovered my wife has a TikTok account with 200,000 followers where she mocks our marriage. She calls herself trapped with a loser. That loser is me. I'm still processing this, but I thought maybe sharing my side might help. This is day 1 of living with a TikTok wife. I posted it without overthinking, not expecting anything to come of it. It was 3 in the morning. I finally fell asleep in the guest room, emotionally exhausted. When I woke up, my phone was buzzing constantly. My video had over 500,000 views and was climbing rapidly. The comments section was flooded. This broke my heart. I follow your wife. I always thought something seemed off about her stories. You seem so genuine. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Team husband all the way. By the time I arrived at work, the video had hit 1 million views. My hands were shaking as I showed James. Holy shit, he whispered. You've gone viral? I didn't expect this, I said. I just needed to say something to someone. What's your plan here? James asked. Are you going to keep posting? I hadn't thought that far ahead, but something had shifted inside me. For 18 months, Melissa had controlled the narrative of our marriage. Maybe it was time for the world to hear another perspective. That evening, I posted my second video, a calm, measured response to one of Melissa's most hurtful posts, the one about our anniversary dinner where she claimed I was checking out the waitress. This was our anniversary dinner at Costello's, I explained, showing a photo from that night. I spent 3 months on the waiting list to get reservations. I wasn't looking at the waitress, I was nervous about the special dessert I had arranged with the chef that was about to come out. I showed a picture of the custom cake with 8 years and forever to go written in chocolate. Sometimes there's more to the story than what makes a good TikTok. The response was immediate and overwhelming. My follower count jumped to 500,000 overnight. Comments pouring and pouring. This man planned anniversary dinner while his wife was planning to humiliate him online. I'm officially unfollowing, trapped with a loser. This is disgusting behavior. She doesn't deserve you, King. I continued posting not attacks on Melissa, but simple corrections to her narrative. When she posted about another day watching him do nothing around the house, I shared a spreadsheet I had created months ago tracking our household responsibilities. When she complained about my useless hobbies, I showed the wooden jewelry box I had made for her birthday in my woodworking class. 3 days into my new TikTok presence, something unexpected happened. Melissa's sister, Kate, commented on one of my videos. I had no idea this was happening. I'm so sorry, Jake. This isn't right. Kate and I had always been close. She had introduced me to Melissa in college. Minutes later, my phone rang. It was Kate. Jake, what the hell is going on? I just found both your TikTok accounts and I'm horrified. You didn't know about her account? I asked. No, God no, I would have said something. Jake, the things she's saying about you. That's not the marriage I see when I'm with you two. That's not the brother-in-law I know. Her support cracked something in me, and I found myself telling her everything: how I discovered the account, the 18 months of secret videos, the merchandise, the community Melissa had built around hating me. She posts videos of me sleeping. Kate. She films me without my knowledge or consent. Do you know how violating that feels? Kate was quiet for a moment. I'm going to talk to her, she finally said. Please don't, I said quickly. I haven't confronted her yet. I'm still figuring out what to do. You haven't told her you know, or about your account? No, Jake? Kate sounded worried. This is going to explode. She was right, of course, but a part of me needed this to play out, needed to reclaim some control over the narrative of my own life. That night, Melissa was unusually quiet during dinner. She kept checking her phone, her expression growing increasingly tense. I pretended not to notice, asking about her day, maintaining our normal routine. As we cleaned up after dinner, her phone rang. She glanced at it, frowned, and took the call in our bedroom. I could hear her voice rising, though I couldn't make out the words. When she emerged 20 minutes later, her eyes were red. That was Kate, she said, her voice strained. She found some TikTok account, someone claiming to be my husband. I kept my expression neutral, loading the dishwasher. Though, it's getting a lot of attention. The guy is saying I have a secret account where I make fun of him. She laughed nervously. Isn't that crazy? Some people will do anything for views. I closed the dishwasher slowly, my heart pounding. This was the moment. She was giving me the perfect opportunity to confront her. But something held me back. She was lying to my face, doubling down even when caught. That's weird, I said mildly. What's the account called? She hesitated. I don't remember exactly. Something about a TikTok wife. She waved dismissively. Kate got all worked up about it. I told her it's just some troll. That night, as Melissa slept, I posted my most revealing video yet. I showed screen recordings of her account, her videos of me sleeping, her merchandise page. This is what betrayal looks like, I said quietly. Not cheating with another person, but cheating the world into thinking your partner is someone they're not. By morning, my follower count had surpassed Melissa's. Her comment sections were flooded with people calling her out, tagging my account, expressing outrage on my behalf. Some of her most loyal followers had jumped ship, publicly announcing they were out Team Jake. The situation escalated when one of Melissa's videos from months ago resurfaced, one where she had specifically mocked Kate's advice about marriage counseling. My sister thinks a therapist can fix the fact that I married an emotional child, she had said, rolling her eyes. Now Kate's husband shared my account, adding, The truth about my sister-in-law that we've been too polite to say for years. My phone rang as I was driving to work. Melissa. I let it go to voicemail. She called again immediately. Then again. By the time I reached the office, I had 12 missed calls and a flurry of texts. Jake, we need to talk. Someone is impersonating you on TikTok. People are saying horrible things about me online. Please call me back. It's an emergency. At lunch, James and I watched as Melissa posted a new TikTok. Her first response to the situation. Her face was tearful, her voice shaking. I need to address the account that's claiming to be my husband. This is a malicious attack by someone who has stalked my content and is now trying to damage my reputation at my marriage. My husband and I have a wonderful relationship, and he would never do something like this. Please report this account for impersonation. James let out a low whistle. She's still lying, even now. I nodded, a strange calm settling over me. I think it's time for my next video. I recorded it in James's office, a simple, straightforward message. I am not an impersonator. I am Jake Ellis, husband of Melissa Ellis, creator of Trapped with a Loser. Here's my driver's license, our wedding photo, and today's newspaper. I discovered my wife's account 4 days ago. Everything I've shared is true. I haven't decided what happens next with our marriage, but I needed the truth to be heard. Within an hour, Melissa had deleted her latest video. An hour after that, her entire account disappeared. When I arrived home that evening, Melissa was waiting, her eyes swollen from crying, her posture defeated. Why didn't you just talk to me? She demanded, her voice breaking. Why did you have to humiliate me in front of everyone? The irony was so thick I could barely breathe. That's what you're asking me? After 18 months of filming me without consent? After building a brand around mocking me? It wasn't real, she cried. It was just content. It was a persona. I had to keep it going because people responded to it. It wasn't about you, Jake. It was never about you. It was literally all about me, I said quietly. My snoring. My job. My hobbies. Our private moments, our struggles. You made money selling merchandise, calling yourself trapped in our marriage. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. I'll delete everything. I'll post an apology. I'll tell everyone it was all made up. Please, Jake. Please delete your account. People are threatening me. I'm getting hate mail. My boss saw it. My parents saw it. For the first time in days, I felt a flicker of sympathy for her. Then I remembered the videos of me sleeping, vulnerable and unaware, being mocked for hundreds of thousands of strangers. I'll think about it, I said, knowing I wouldn't delete anything. The truth needed to stay visible. I'm staying at James's tonight. I need space. As I packed an overnight bag, Melissa followed me around the house, alternating between tears and anger, between begging and accusing. You're destroying everything over some stupid videos, she cried. It was just TikTok. It wasn't real life. But it was real life. Her account might have been a performance, but the betrayal was real. The public humiliation was real. The end of my trust in her was very, very real. 3 weeks later, Melissa and I sat across from each other in our marriage counselor's office. It was our 4th session, and the first where we weren't just rehashing the TikTok debacle. Jake has agreed to delete his account, the counselor, Dr. Brennan summarized. And Melissa, you've published your public apology and explanation video on your new account. You've both taken steps toward reconciliation. Where do you want to go from here? Melissa leaned forward eagerly. I want us to move past this. I've shown Jake all my social media accounts. I've given him my passwords. I'm being completely transparent now. She had been working overtime to make amends, cooking my favorite meals, suggesting activities I enjoyed, being affectionate, unattentive. To the outside world, she was the picture of a remorseful wife trying to save her marriage. Jake? Dr. Brennan prompted. What are your thoughts? I chose my words carefully. I appreciate Melissa's efforts. I know the backlash has been difficult for her. The backlash had indeed been severe. Melissa had lost her brand partnerships. Her new apology account had a fraction of her original followers. Some of her friends had distanced themselves. Meanwhile, my account had continued to grow, with people praising my restraint and dignity in handling the situation. But, Dr. Brennan sensed my hesitation. But I'm not sure trust can be rebuilt here, I admitted. Every time she reaches for her phone, I wonder if she's recording me. Every time she laughs at something I say, I wonder if it will become content later. Melissa's eyes filled with tears. I've apologized 1,000 times, Jake. I've done everything you asked. What more can I do? What more indeed? She had apologized publicly and privately. She had deleted her account. She had even suggested we take a social media break altogether. On the surface, she was doing everything right. After the session, we walked to our cars in silence. Before getting into hers, Melissa turned to me. "I'm really trying, Jake. I know I messed up badly, but I love you. I've always loved you." The account it just got away from me. Once I started getting followers, it became this character I was playing. It wasn't how I really felt. I studied her face, searching for the woman I had fallen in love with 8 years ago. If it wasn't how you really felt, why was it so easy to say those things? To film me at my most vulnerable, to share our private struggles for entertainment? She had no answer for that. That night, alone in our house, Melissa was staying with her parents temporarily. I recorded what I had announced would be my final TIKTOK video. "Thank you to everyone who has supported me through this difficult time," I began. "Melissa and I are working with a counselor to determine the future of our marriage. I've agreed to delete this account as part of our healing process. Before I go, I want to say that social media can bring out versions of ourselves we don't recognize. It can turn private moments into public content. It can make us forget the humanity of the people we claim to love. Whatever happens with our marriage, I hope we all remember that real relationships happen in the quiet moments, not in the performative ones. This will be my last post. Thank you for listening to my story." The comments section flooded immediately. "We're going to miss you, Jake. Don't take her back, King. Your dignity throughout this has been inspiring. She doesn't deserve a second chance." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I texted James, "It's done. Phase 1 complete." His reply came seconds later, "Ready when you are. Files are secure." Melissa called me the next morning, her voice bright with hope. "I saw your final video. Thank you for that. It was really mature. When do you think you'll delete the account?" "Today," I promised. "I just needed to say goodbye to everyone. Maybe we could have dinner tonight? Start fresh?" "That would be nice," I said, infusing my voice with warmth I didn't feel. 7 o'clock? I'll cook. Perfect. I'll bring wine." After we hung up, I sent another text to James, "Dinner at 7. Everything in place?" "All set," he confirmed. "Kate's on board too." That evening, I prepared Melissa's favorite meal, lemon garlic salmon with roasted vegetables. I set the table with our wedding china, lit candles, played soft music. When she arrived, her face lit up with hope. "This is beautiful, Jake," she said, handing me an expensive bottle of red wine, my favorite. "I thought we could use a nice evening," I replied, taking her coat. A reset. Throughout dinner, Melissa was animated and engaging, asking about my day, laughing at my jokes, touching my hand across the table. She was performing again, this time as the devoted wife eager to save her marriage. "I deleted all my social media apps," she announced proudly. "Cold turkey. Dr. Brennan thinks it will help me reconnect with what's real." "That's a big step," I acknowledged. "How does it feel?" "Freeing, actually. I didn't realize how much time I was spending online until I stopped." She took a sip of wine. "Did you delete your account?" "I did," I confirmed. "Right after lunch." Her relief was palpable. "Thank you. I know that might have been hard with all the support you were getting." I nodded, refilling her wine glass. It was time to move forward. "Speaking of which, I have something for you." I retrieved a small wrapped package from the kitchen counter and placed it in front of her. She opened it eagerly, revealing a velvet jewelry box. Inside was a delicate silver necklace with a small heart pendant. "Jake, it's beautiful," she breathed, immediately putting it on. "What's the occasion?" "New beginnings," I said, raising my glass to honesty and transparency. She clinked her glass against mine, her eyes shining with tears. "I don't deserve you." "Probably not," I agreed lightly, making her laugh. After dinner, we moved to the couch with our wine. Melissa curled against me, sighing contentedly. "I've missed this. I've missed us." I stroked her hair, waiting for the right moment. When she looked up at me expectantly, I said, "There's something else I wanted to show you." I reached for my laptop on the coffee table and opened it. "I've been working on a project." "What kind of project?" she asked, her voice curious. I pulled up a document and turned the screen toward her. "Our divorce agreement." The color drained from Melissa's face as she stared at the screen. "What? What is this?" "It's a preliminary divorce agreement drawn up by my attorney," I explained calmly. "I've been working with him for the past 3 weeks. She jerked away from me, spilling wine on her blouse. "Is this some kind of sick joke after tonight? After everything I've done to make things right?" "No joke," I said, my voice steady. "I'm filing for divorce." "But your video, you said we were working on our marriage. You said you deleted your account." "I did delete that account," I confirmed, "but there's a new one. Actually, there's a whole YouTube channel now. James has been helping me compile and edit the content. Her eyes widened with horror. What content? Everything? Melissa. The videos you thought you deleted. The comments. The merchandise sales. Your lies to our counselor. Your sister's testimony about how you laughed about your account with her before she realized I didn't know about it. Kate wouldn't. Kate did. I interrupted. She showed me the texts where you bragged about how your loser husband had no idea he was a TikTok star. Where you told her the account was making more money than my pathetic job. Melissa's face crumpled. Those were private conversations. She had no right. No right? I repeated incredulously. Like I had no right to privacy while I slept, while I grieved my father's cancer, while I planned our anniversary, while I worked overtime for our future. She began to sob, mascara streaking down her cheeks. Please, Jake. Please don't do this. I'll do anything. I was wrong, so wrong. I got caught up in the attention, the followers. It wasn't the real me. That's the problem, I said quietly. I don't know who the real you is anymore. The woman who built a brand mocking me. The woman who's been begging for forgiveness. The woman who just now is playing the perfect wife while still lying to my face. Her sobbing intensified. What do you mean? Still lying? I took out my phone and showed her a screen recording from the previous day, her TikTok account, not deleted as she had claimed, but simply set to private. She had posted a new video just hours before our counseling session playing the long game with the husband. We'll update once this blows over. Stay tuned. Trapped wives. Her face went from anguish to stunned. How did you? Your sister, I explained. You forgot you'd given her access to manage your merchandise sales. She could still see your private posts. Melissa's expression hardened suddenly. So this whole evening was a setup? Dinner, the necklace, all of it? Consider it content. I said, echoing her words from weeks earlier. It wasn't real, it was just for the views. She lunged for my laptop, but I moved it out of reach. You can't do this. You can't share our private life online. The irony was so thick it was almost comical. That's exactly what you did for 18 months, Melissa. The difference is, I'm not mocking you or lying about you. I'm simply showing the world who you really are. I'll sue you, she threatened, her voice shaking with rage. I'll say you violated my privacy. My attorney says you've got no case, I replied calmly. You established our marriage as public content. You filmed me without consent in our home. You profited from humiliating me. The precedent you set works against you now. She collapsed back onto the couch, her anger giving way to defeat. What do you want from me, money? Is that it? I'll give you all the TikTok earnings. I don't want your money, I said. The divorce agreement is fair. We each keep our own assets, split the house proceeds. What I want is for you to stop lying. To me, to yourself, to your followers. And if I agree, you'll take down the YouTube channel? I shook my head. The channel stays up. Your actions have consequences, Melissa. For once, you're going to face them instead of spinning them into content. Her phone buzzed with notifications once, twice, then continuously. She grabbed it, her face growing paler as she scrolled. What did you do? She whispered. The first YouTube video just went live, I explained. A compilation of your greatest hits, alongside the reality of those moments, side by side. Truth and fiction. She stared at her phone in horror as comments flooded in, as her carefully cultivated image collapsed in real time. James is releasing a new video every hour for the next 24 hours, I continued. Each one contrasting your TikTok version of our marriage with reality. The final video includes your most recent private posts, proving you never intended to change. This will destroy me, she said, her voice hollow. No, it will expose you, I corrected. There's a difference. I stood up, gathering the divorce papers. I'll be staying at James's place until you move out. You have 30 days per the agreement. Your sister has agreed to come help you pack tomorrow. Kate is helping you destroy me too? She asked bitterly. Kate is helping her sister face reality, I replied. She loves you enough to hold you accountable. As I packed an overnight bag, Melissa remained on the couch, staring blankly at her phone as her carefully constructed online persona unraveled. The notifications continued to buzz from her followers expressing disgust, media outlets requesting comments, friends and family reacting to the truth. At the door, I paused, looking back at the woman I had loved for 8 years. You know what the saddest part is, Melissa? I would have done anything for you. If you'd been unhappy, we could have worked on it together. If you'd wanted out, I would have let you go. Instead, you chose to humiliate me for likes and followers. She looked up, her makeup smeared, her expression broken. What about all that stuff in your video about social media bringing out versions of ourselves we don't recognize, about forgiveness. I meant every word I said. But forgiveness doesn't mean staying with someone who betrayed you so completely. It means freeing yourself from the anger and moving forward. Without me, she whispered. Without you, I confirmed. As I walked to my car, my phone buzzed with a text from James. Video won 500K views in 20 minutes. You okay? I looked back at the house where I had planned to build a future, have children, grow old with the woman I loved. The woman who had turned our intimacy into entertainment. I will be, I replied. 3 months later, I sat in a cafe in a new city, sipping coffee and working on my laptop. Our house had sold quickly, the divorce had been finalized without drama, and I had accepted a job offer across the country. The YouTube channel, The Reality Behind TIKTO Marriage, had become a case study in social media ethics classes and had sparked conversations about privacy and consent in relationships. Melissa had eventually posted a genuine apology video, acknowledging everything without excuses or spin. She had entered therapy and stepped away from social media entirely. According to Kate, she was slowly rebuilding her life with a new perspective. As for me, I was recognized occasionally. Aren't you the TIKTOK husband? But the attention was fading. I had declined podcast interviews and book deals, preferring to leave the story behind me. My phone buzzed with a text from Kate. She's doing better. Asked me to tell you she's sorry, for whatever that's worth. I didn't respond immediately. The hurt had dulled. But the lesson remained sharp and clear. In a world where private lives become public content, authenticity is the first casualty. Melissa had lost herself in a character of her own creation, and our marriage had been collateral damage. I closed my laptop and looked out the cafe window at my new beginning. No followers, no content, no performance. Just life, unfiltered and real. Finally, I texted Kate back. Tell her I hope she finds what she's looking for, and I hope it's real this time.